We've got a lot to go over with a bunch of different things that have changed in GravityBoard. And then we're going to go into GravityView Widget for Elementor. And we're going to answer some questions. But first, we have some news items to go over in the world of gravity forms.
Yeah, we do. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and we can go over a couple of these newsworthy items.
And for those of you who are watching live, hello, thanks for joining us. And please feel free to leave comments in the chat, ask questions, and we're happy to answer them. You've got us live. Let's do it.
Yeah, please do go ahead and submit those questions. Yeah, the first thing on the list, Zach, is the Gravity Forms Stripe add-on 6.0 beta. So this new release has a lot of new features, and I was just reading through it earlier. And they have things like form creation, or form entry creation, even when payments fail. They've got new confirmations here. They've got new notification options as well, and a whole load of other new features and settings.
Yeah, these changes make Gravity Forms plus Stripe such a more powerful combination. Things like not creating entries when payments failed, that was a problem. You need to know when payments failed in your shopping cart. So I think this is really turning Gravity Forms into more of a shopping cart solution than ever before.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only getting more powerful. So if anyone out there is using Stripe, yeah, check this out and see if it can work for you.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Ken. If anyone in the chat has questions for us about anything Gravity Forms or GravityKit related, go ahead and ask. We're here to answer.
Yeah, and I'm excited about the Stripe add-on because we use Stripe personally, and they are the go-to payment processor. Like PayPal, you kind of have to support because of international stuff, but Stripe is just so much better, and the more people using Stripe, the better. And I know that Gravity Forms works with Stripe really closely these days and tries to make sure that they're adopting all the coolest new functionality. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking this out.
Yeah, definitely. And we have a couple news items from our side as well. We published a new case study recently, which I think is well worth checking out. And this is completely written by the GravityKit team, but this is a US government agency that are using GravityKit, specifically GravityView, to power their staff directory. And I just thought this was a really cool use case. They have a great looking staff directory with nice looking profiles. And it just highlights how GravityKit can be a great solution for governments that have restrictions on the kind of software that they can use, specifically when it comes to SaaS software, where their data is being shared with a third party. So WordPress solutions are really the way to go there because all your data and everything stays on your own website. So this is really cool to see.
Yeah, it's always fascinating hearing from different segments of our customer base, and government use cases are very similar to enterprise, but it's also a little different. I love that when we released GravityBoard, one of the people at the Severe Storms Lab got in touch with us and said they were so excited. And the entire team was really excited because they can't use Trello. They can't use an external data connection. They have to use something that's hosted on their own servers where the data doesn't leave that location. And there are really cool tools out there, but GravityBoard was the right fit for them because it has incredible functionality and it's all hosted only on their website.
Yeah, totally. All right, cool. And then I wanted to quickly mention that we're going to be demoing some of the new features in GravityBoard very soon, but I wanted to mention our demo site that we have here because I'm slowly building out additional demos that you can play around with here. So the actual demo site, you can go to gravitykit.com gravity.com/demo/gravityboard. And you'll find it here. You can clone the site, you can play around with everything, demo the full functionality. And then I've just added this new sales pipeline board. So this is really cool for like tracking leads that you receive via Gravity Forms. And you can move leads through different stages and have preset checklists and things like that. So I thought this was a really powerful use case. And I'm going to be adding additional ones in the coming weeks. And then, of course, like with most of our demos, we have a link here that says how to build it. And if you click on that, it'll take you through to our blog, where we have a full written up tutorial on exactly how to build that specific application.
Yeah, and we're working on some really cool ways to synthesize this information, because Casey's built so many cool demos that have how to build it guides on our blog, and there's so many different places where all this information is. And one of the big projects that we're working on in GravityKit is trying to unify where that information lives so that people can easily access and understand like what's possible, how to accomplish it, what's needed to accomplish it, like the step-by-step processes that are needed. And we have tons of documentation, but sometimes it's hard to understand what to do. So one of the tools that we're using currently is AI chatbots that are trained on all these different sources of data, like our GravityKit Academy website, our blogs, our documentation at docs.gravitykit.com. All of that data is being fed into an AI, and that AI now is on our support page.
Yeah, and this is really cool. So on our support page here, we have now two options, self-service and human support. And the self-service is our AI chatbot here. And yeah, let me refresh this and then I'll put a new prompt in.
Yeah, if you click the refresh button at the top there, yep.
There we go. Yeah, so this is really cool. So you can just ask questions here. Like Zach said, this is trained on our documentation and stuff like that. So there's often things that you might have forgotten about, like a certain shortcode or something like that, and it's a hassle to have to contact support for that. And maybe you're struggling to find it in the documentation. So this is a great option for you.
Yeah, and it's really cool, like just to get into the like operations side of things. People may be wondering, well, how useful is this? How much support does this actually take off your support team's shoulders? And so many of these questions are really well answered by AI. And then a lot of them are also not. So things like prorated pricing. If you go to the support page and you ask, like, can I upgrade later? It automatically answers that question for people and says, yeah, you can buy any license and upgrade later at the difference in cost. So like, I've been seeing for people who have been using the DocSpot chatbot, it's something like 30 to 40% of people don't need to ask questions to the support team. They're able to fully answer their questions using the chatbot. And I think it might even be higher than that, but I'm confident saying 40%. So if you have a question and you don't want to go through the hassle of like reaching out to like actually phrasing something in a way that a human can understand, chat with the chatbot, see if it can help you. And if you still need help, we're here to help, and it's on the same page. So I think I like using it personally as well when I forget what we have, because we have a lot of different functionality. So it's a great tool to use.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, that's on our support page, gravitykit.com/support. And also, Casey, we have it enabled for our Help Scout beacon in the bottom right there, like our little contact beacon. We also have AI answers there. I don't think they're quite as good as the ones that are on the support page, but they also are fed from our docs and from our blog content. So check that out.
Awesome. So Zach, we've been making quite a few enhancements to GravityBoard recently.
Yes, we have, and the list continues to grow longer. I have a Gravity board set up with a lot of to-do items, and they are. It's exciting how many things we're able to launch, and I'm also looking forward to doing a lot of cool stuff in the near future, like I really want to integrate our entry tags functionality so that we can have colored tag labeling, and that's one of my next top things that we're going to be working on. And I see that Clive, hi Clive, would love to be able to assign subtasks, like assign checklist items to people. And that is a great point. When we developed GravityBoard, we made it so that each checklist has its own entire structure. So it's able to have a bunch of additional information. So right now it's essentially the name of the checklist, whether it's done or not, and the position in the list, and the list ID. Well, guess what? That can grow to a lot of different stuff. And I know that you can be able to assign subtasks in Trello, and you can do like due dates for checklist items in Trello. These are things we've thought about, and they're definitely things we're looking into. So this is on this is on a task board as well.
Yeah, and if anyone else has any questions or any features they would love to see, please do let us know. I would love to hear about that.
Yeah, or if you've built really cool stuff with GravityBoard, also let us know, because we want to feature you. We want to tell your story. Get a link from gravitykit.com, share your story. And how do people do that, Casey?
Yeah, well, either they can reach out directly, or you can go to our website at gravitykit.com /share your story. And I will get I'll get the page up here actually.
Yeah, and
there it
it's
is.
share-your-story. Yep.
Yeah, and we've got a short questionnaire here. All the fields are optional, so you don't need to fill everything out if you don't want to. But we'd love to know a little bit about, the work that you do, and maybe a couple of the projects that have involved our tools. And then what we'll do is take the information, write it up as a case study, and then we'll reach out to you on email to get approval, and then we'll publish it on our blog, and we'll link back to your website and your social media if you want that. And yeah, we'd just love to feature your work and help aspiring customers get some inspiration for what they can do with GravityKit tools.
Yeah, and we try to make it easy. So if you're at all interested, go ahead and fill that out.
Yeah, please do.
So yeah, Casey, you asked about all the cool stuff we've been doing with GravityBoard. One of the cool things that we've added recently is the ability to add checklist templates. Now, I know
Right.
that for the work that I often do, you have a task, and that task has a lot of subtasks. Like, um, you want to release a blog post, you might have a list of checklist items that go along with releasing that blog post. And people were asking consistently, hey, please add this functionality where I can say whenever a new entry is created, whenever a new card is created in GravityBoard, I want to have a default template of checklist items already there so I can check them off, knowing that there's a process that's going to be happening.
Yeah, definitely. And I can show what that looks like in GravityBoard. So let me go to one of my boards here, and let's just view that. And yeah, this is like my sales pipeline board. So we're moving each card as a lead, and we're moving them through different stages on the sales process. So if I click in here, you can see, obviously, like right now, we have the ability to add checklists, and you can add item one by one. But like Zach was saying, this is tedious if you have to do it for every single card, right? So now we've made this a lot easier. So let me go back to my board settings here. And I'm going to go to the Advanced tab and scroll down to Checklists. And now we have this checklist template option. So we can actually add checklist items one line at a time. And then when we create a new card on the board, those will be automatically added. That checklist will be automatically added to the card. So I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to copy in a checklist that I pre-wrote here, which might be something you want to do for each lead that you're collecting. So like review lead details and assign to sales rep, send personalized introduction email, schedule and complete a follow-up if no reply, log notes calls, shared resources in CRM, update pipeline stage. So these are all things you might want to do for every single lead that you receive. So we've added that now as a template. I'm going to check this as well, which allows us to, which will automatically move completed items to the bottom, which I think is quite nice. And then I'll save that. And let's view the board again. And I'm going to go ahead and add a new task. Or wait, am I on the right board? I have two boards set up here. Let's see. Let's make sure I'm on the right one. Okay, apparently I was on the wrong board. So let me go ahead and paste in my checklist again. There we go. Okay, definitely on the right board now. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new lead here to the initial stage. And I'll just say Casey Ryan. And then I'll go ahead and save that. And that should save.
Yeah.
Let's.
We're working on a develop build because I told
okay.
Casey how error-free it was. So the production version works better than this. Apologies.
Yeah, this is our latest version that we're currently working on. But let's see.
Yeah, it seems like there's an issue with attachments. Maybe if you add an attachment, Casey.
Okay. Maybe I can try one that already has an attachment.
Seems like the due date might not be mapped as well. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I haven't. Let me go to the board settings and see. We got the entry date in there.
Yeah, give it a save.
Yeah, let's try that again. Add a new card.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
So
let me,
one of the
second.
reasons
I'll load up a new one.
That things aren't working right now is because we're working on improving. We've essentially rewritten the entire plugin for speed and so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen moving forward. So we're going through the QA process right now, and we rewrote GravityBoard from JavaScript into TypeScript, which for developers you'll know what that means, but other people might not. It means that it's going to be a lot less prone to doing things you don't expect, like this. So we're really, this will allow us to move forward faster and add new functionality, knowing as we build it, if there are going to be any issues, like ahead of time. As you click save, essentially, it'll say that's going to cause a problem or that won't cause a problem. So once we get these problems ironed out, that will be the future of GravityBoard, is going to be more rapid enhancements, more rapid development. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, I can't tell you more, but there are other reasons why we've switched to TypeScript. We're gonna have some big announcements with GravityBoard in the next month or so, I think. I'm excited about them.
Zach, let's head back to the demo.
Okay.
So let's add that. All right. So I've just mapped a different due date, and that seems to have solved the issue. So
okay.
Yeah, let me show how the checklist template works here. So just a quick reminder, I added this template here in the advanced tab, and I've got my different checklist items that I want to pre-populate every card with. And here I am on the board view. Now let me add a new lead to the new lead column. And we'll just say Casey Ryan. Whoops. Oh, geez. There we go. And then I could fill out the additional information here, but I don't necessarily need to. I can save that. And you can see that gets added here to the new lead column. And then if I open up the card, you can see it already has that checklist pre-added with all the items. So yeah, this is just a great way to kind of save time and, have those subtasks pre-added in to all of your board cards.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've heard from customers is that they're using multiple feeds, having different checklist items. And one of the cool things about the way we've implemented this is that they all get kind of merged into one checklist. So you can have multiple checklist items all feeding into a single card. And if you add an item when you're adding a card, a checklist item, that will also not be overwritten. It'll be like the template will be added in addition to the items that you add when you're creating a new card.
Yeah, really nice.
And one of the things that we are considering, and the system is built for it, so let us know, do you want multiple separate checklist items, or do you want them all in one checklist? So reach out, let us know, because this is something that we're considering adding support for. And it's built into the back end. So like it would, if it's a priority for you, we will prioritize it.
Yeah, and then we had a couple of other new additions here in the latest version of GravityBoard. And one of those things was integrating integrating our advanced conditional logic setup in here. And this is something internally we call it query filters. And it's something that we use across our kit of add-ons to allow you to essentially create really kind of granular control over the output. So if you wanted to like pre-filter entries or cards on a board, you could do that by multiple different conditions. So when I click add condition here, you can see I have the ability to add conditions. I can add multiple, I can add groups of conditions. You can link those conditions using and or logic. So you can get really, you can create some really complex filtering setups here. And one of the really cool things as well is that we've added support here for different GravityBoard features as well. So you can filter by like GravityBoard assignees, attachments, checklists. And then of course you have the option to filter by different meta values as well as form field values. And then what's also really cool is that you can filter by user role. So like, for example, you could only show cards created by the current user's role, or like only show cards created by, the currently logged in user. So this would be a great way to show like a personalized board to different members of your team, for example, where they only saw the tasks that they themselves created.
Right. Or if the roles are like different organization segments where like development and support and marketing and all this stuff goes into one board, but you might not want everybody seeing all those roles. You can filter it so that the cards that are shown are only part of this specific role.
Yeah, that's a great point. So in this example, I've set it up so you'll only see cards created by users with the role coach, for example.
Yeah, and we have a lot of customers who have like that kind of arrangement where they are coaches and they have instructors and coaches and students, and like schools have parents and teachers and children. There are so many different combinations of visibility and that GravityBoard supports thanks to integrating our advanced conditional logic. And Gravity Forms itself, their conditional logic was like a game changer back in the day, and it's still very good, but it's also very flat. You have it's either and or for all the different conditions that you have. We have this functionality that allows you to group it and do much more powerful things than the built-in Gravity Forms conditional logic.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, that was a really, really cool addition. Something else that we've added recently is we've updated how the permissions work. Zach, do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, so when we implemented GravityBoard's a prior permission structure, it was like, who can view the board? Well, one role. One role can view the board, and that's it. And a lot of people said, yeah, but I want to have a couple different roles and maybe specific capabilities. Like, I want more control, is what people were saying. And so we implemented this functionality so that you can choose to have multiple roles or multiple capabilities all at the same time. So you can say, I actually want editors and people who have the ability to create forms like that. So anyway, you can mix and match the roles that are given permissions to do anything on GravityBoard. So like view it, create a card, edit cards, delete cards. Like all of these permissions allow you to build applications with the exact type of security that you want, so that people who can do something are able to, and or people who shouldn't be able to do something can't. And like it's really granular. It gives you really good control, and but out of the box, it's configured in a logical way. So you don't need to mess with this if you don't want to. We applied some good default permissions that are based on the Gravity Forms permissions.
Yeah, and I love this because this is so useful for like schools, for example, and organizations that have multiple users who are going to be accessing the board, but only certain users who should be able to like add new cards, for example, or add attachments or assign users or whatever it might be. So yeah, you can really configure the permissions for pretty much any action that can be taken on the board, and you just have so much control.
Yeah, and one of the things we're going to be doing is using this to display our roadmap. And the roadmap, we want the roadmap to be public so everybody can see it. So how would we do that, Casey, under board permissions? Who can view board?
Right, yeah, so let me remove these. Who can view board? We could do everyone, including
Including
logged out
logged
users.
out users. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that means everybody can see the board. But who will be able to edit it? Only the people who are logged in who have the capability to edit entries.
right.
But
Yeah, and
sometimes
that's
you want people to be able to add entries. So, like if we want our roadmap to include feature requests, then we can say who can add cards? Well, everyone, including logged out users.
right. Yeah, and this is how I've set up some of our demos as well, um, which is really cool. So you can actually give people the opportunity to interact with the board, even if they're not logged in.
Right. And then you can really open the floodgates and let everybody do everything, but I don't recommend that.
Yeah.
And one of
Okay,
the cool
awesome.
things, like if everybody can view a board and everybody can view the cards on the board, you can also say everybody can add notes to a card. And that lets
Okay.
people leave comments on, for example, feature requests. So somebody can say, I would love for this to be implemented. And so that's an example of how granular you can get.
Yeah, that's a great point. All right, well, we're really excited about GravityBoard. Lots of new features and things in the works. So definitely keep up to date with everything that we're working on. And please keep giving us your feedback and your feature requests. That's been really helpful. But another thing we're really excited about is the upcoming widget that we're developing, GravityView Widget for Elementor.
Yeah, and Elementor by far is the largest page builder that our customers are using, and we've been working on it for a while, but it's getting very close to being ready to release, and we're excited. Like I know whenever I'm playing with it, it really is inspirational for all the things you can do and how easy it is to do them. One of the things that I've been frustrated with the block editor is how so I just want to change this one thing, and it's you have to like click into things and know where to look. And Elementor is a lot easier for me to use personally. So when I embed a view using the Elementor widget for GravityView, I can just know where things are and change the background color, change the text colors, text size, and it just makes more sense to me than the block editor.
Yeah, totally. You can get a really great looking layout going in, just a couple of minutes. Um, and yeah, let's show what that looks like. Um, So what I'm going to do is I have a bunch of views set up here on my demo site already, but I'm just going to create a new page. And I have Elementor pre-installed, of course. So I'm going to click Edit with Elementor, and that will open up the Elementor Visual Builder for us. And then what I'll do is I'll just search here. Maybe I'll just zoom in a little bit. I'll just search for view, and you can see we have this nice GravityView widget. You can just drag and drop that into our page, anywhere into your layout. And then all you need to do is select the view from the drop-down that you want to embed. So in this case, yeah, I've got a bunch of views set up, but I'll just quickly show the member profiles view. And then you can customize the view settings here. And these are all the options, I believe, that are available in the GravityView shortcode when you embed a view. And they're also, of course, available in the view settings as well. But you can change stuff here directly in the Elementor, which is quite nice. So like, allowing user edits and things like that. You can tweak those options directly here in the widget. And then the really exciting stuff happens in the Style tab. So if I open that, you can see we have all these different tabs here, and they all correspond to the different areas of the view. So you have a really granular control over editing and styling. Styling each of these areas. So for this example, I'm just using the list layout. So you can see I can see the lists. I've got the list container. I can style that, the list entry loop, the title, the subtitle, all the different zones where I've added fields. So I just thought I'd go through a quick example of like how you can get something that looks pretty cool set up, really quickly. So in this case, I've got a list view. It's got like I'm showing different members, but it doesn't look great, right? We've just got a single list, just like one column with all our members here. But using Elementor, I can go in here, to the list entry loop, for example, and I'll choose the number of entries to show per row. Maybe I can make that 4. That's already looking better. And let's see, we can start to kind of tweak things a little bit, adjust the gap between entries. What I'm going to go ahead and do is actually go for like a kind of like a cool dark mode type layout. So what I'll do is change the background color for the lists, for the container here. And let's do something like that. And then I will change the background for each of these cards, each of the member cards here. So let me go ahead and select this one. So we've got something starting to take shape here. Let me go ahead and actually add a little bit more padding up here. And then we'll reduce it slightly on the left and the right. Something like that. Cool. And yeah, I'm just going to keep kind of like building this out with all of these preset options that we have in Elementor. And it just makes it so easy because I just have to point and click. No CSS or anything like that needed.
And
so I'm just
another nice thing is that the text color, for example, if we wanted to change the text color to white or something that's visible on the dark background, everything is nested in a way that if you change the text color global, like from the container side, the container will apply to everything, and then you can get more specific, and then so you can say only the text color within the field values should be this different text color. So it's descending specificity, just like CSS is designed to be, where like you can control text color in many different places, and it overrides the more specific you get. I don't know if that made any sense, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and this is really cool, right? Like I've just spent a couple minutes on this, and I've got a nice little dark mode layout going with my, displaying my members here. And this is something that would have taken a while to do before. You would have needed to put in some custom styles. You would have needed to figure out which CSS classes you need to target, all that kind of stuff. And now you can just do it all in Elementor, no code required. Just it's all like in this nice visual interface. Everything is very intuitive because we've added this amazing hover functionality where when you hover over different tabs here in the styles, you can see what they correspond to visually on the view. So if you want to like edit a specific part, you can find it pretty easily by just hovering over the different options.
And also, Casey, I don't know if people are going to be discovering this themselves, but if you click into any specific part when the styles tab is active, it'll automatically open up the associated settings.
Right. Yes, that's also a great feature. Yeah, so it makes it really easy, really intuitive. And then something that is also worth noting is that Elementor has mobile responsive styles, right? So if you're looking to tweak things a bit on different screen sizes, so I can kind of see what that looks like. Mobile
so
and tablet.
On mobile, you might want to only have one row per.
Yes, right.
Per entry.
So I could go to kind of the mobile layout here, and I'll just put that down to 1. So now we've just got 1 row of entries, which makes a lot more sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can have different styles, for different screen sizes to make sure you get things looking exactly how you need them, in line with your website, in line with your brand, and ready to ship.
Yeah, so that's in list layout. We also are supporting most of our other layouts. Data tables is going to take a little longer for us to add support for because it's more complex. But we will have support for the DIY layout, for table layout, list layout, maps layout, and our layout builder layout as well.
Yeah, so that's really exciting, and that's going to be coming really soon. So we can't wait to hear your feedback on that.
Yeah, and I don't want to commit to a date, but it's when Casey says really soon, he means it, and I mean it too. Yeah, so we had feedback from Aaron Braxton. Hello, Aaron, saying, "I wish you guys would do this for Thrive themes. Thank you for letting us know. We will like all of the. We're going to be focusing on integrating with page builders, having better native functionality for this as well, like in the short code, like in the view configuration as well. Hopefully that will do some of what you're looking for without having Thrive themes be like its own extension. But we're focusing on for the near future, Elementor, Divi, Beaver Builder, like some of the big ones, the bigger ones first, and then we're going to work our way down. But I do think Thrive Themes is up there in terms of the number of people that are using it.
Yeah, absolutely. We want this to be really well integrated with all the other no-code tools that you're using.
Yeah. Well, we have a few questions from that people have submitted, and also that people have asked our support that we thought it would be helpful to go over and kind of address on the GravityKit Live. So we should have like little stingers, Casey. We should have like a time for questions and like little video segments. So GravityKit question time.
Yeah, let's see. Let me pull one of these up. If anyone has any questions, please do ask in the live chat. We'll answer them for you. And it doesn't have to be live. Yeah, it doesn't have to be to do with anything specific that we covered now. It can be just general Gravity Forms, GravityKit stuff as well.
Right.
All right. Yeah, let me open up this one here.
Okay, so I'm putting something in our private chat. If you could open up this doc, that would be great, because we mentioned some of the pre-built template, like some of the checklist templates in GravityBoard. It can be hard to know where to start when you have so many different options for what you could be doing. So we wrote a doc called
use cases.
GravityBoard checklist templates that talks about how to set up checklist templates, but also talks about some of the starting, like you have some starting lists that you could use for project management, content creation, onboarding, etc. So if you want to check out some starter lists, go to docs.gravitykit.com and search for checklist templates.
Yeah, that's awesome. That'll definitely help get those creative juices flowing as well.
Yeah. All right. So is it possible to create a view, someone asks, that uses multiple forms for a data source? I'd like to create a view that displays multiple forms. I think we've got something for that.
Yeah, so we actually have an extension for GravityView called multiple forms. So a couple things, couple of things to know is what multiple forms allows you to do is essentially join two forms together, and then you can display. You have to join them on a common field value. So there has to be some sort of link between the entries in those forms. So if like, each form had like an ID field or something like that, and then you could join on that ID, and then essentially you have like an entry with like kind of like an entry with like more fields that you can display in a single view. That's kind of how it works. Like an SQL join, something like that. If you're a technical person, what it can't do is do unions, right? So I'm not sure exactly what kind of join this person is asking about. But if you wanted to say have all the entries from two forms and just display them like one after the other, that's not currently possible. Not yet, anyway.
We're working on it.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So instead of if you have three entries in one form and three entries in another, what currently isn't possible is showing all 6 entries in a list. What is possible, though, is showing fields from both forms on one long, like one wide table that has columns that are representing both submissions.
Right. Cool. So yeah, let's get to the next question here. This one says, can GravityView be used to create assessment forms where students can re-access, edit, and resubmit their responses via a link? So this is a really interesting one. I think this is probably coming in from somebody running a school or an educational institution or something like that. And the answer is yes, you can do that with Gravity Forms and GravityView. It's worth understanding, just noting that Gravity Forms is separate plugin to GravityView, and that takes care of the form side of things. So you can create your assessment using a Gravity form. And then what GravityView allows you to do is, store those submissions, and then if the user's logged in, they can come back, and if you set this option in the settings, they can just log into the site. They can view their submitted assessment, and then they can also edit that directly from the front end of your site, and then resubmit it. And then if you're using GravityView's inbuilt approval functionality, that would get resubmitted for approval, and then you, as the admin or the course, the teacher or the course convener, would be the one to approve that again in your own dashboard or in the backend. So I think that's a great use case, actually.
Yeah, and one of the things that people have been using magic links for, we have a magic links extension. Let's say you don't want people to be able to edit their entries while they're logged out. Or let's say you do want people to be able to edit their entries, but you don't want them to have a user login for the WordPress website. We have a magic links extension that allows editing entries without people being logged in, but they click the magic link, it goes to their email, an email that has a login that doesn't log them into the site, but allows them to access their own entries and edit a specific entry within a fixed time window. So you can allow people not have full access to the administration side of your website and be able to edit their own entries. And it's a great use case for this if people can view, let's say, a submission that they made, but not edit it unless they have a link that they get sent to their email.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's different ways you could set it up depending on how you want it to work exactly.
Right. Yeah. Well, those are good questions. And if anybody watching has any more questions, please ask. I do want to say that we've been working a lot on improving GravityView, and that we're excited about all the things that are coming to GravityView. And I know that when working with software, so often it's the little things that actually work that are surprising and delightful. And we are focusing on making GravityView more delightful, and all of our products, but we're also internally calling it the year of GravityView, and we're really focusing on making GravityView work the way you want it to out of the box, and have you encounter fewer frustrations and more delight as you use the products. So that's our focus for the rest of the year, and it's always our focus, but like we're really committing to it, to making the process of creating views of your data more wonderful.
Yeah, and the Elementor integration is definitely part of that, but there's other stuff coming as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff. Yeah, so that's GravityKit Live. Thank you for joining, and please join us again next month. We have one of these every month.
Yeah, please do. We're always sharing our latest updates here. You can sign up for next month's at gravitykit.com/live. So yeah, head there, sign up. If you're not on our newsletter list, definitely join that at gravitykit.com/newsletter. That's the best way to kind of stay up to date, and we'll send you reminders about the next live stream as well.
All right. Well, thank you, Casey, and see you all next time.
All right, thanks. Bye, everyone.